How's it going, everyone? It has been some time. It's been a while. Um, but yeah, hope everyone's been doing fine. Give me 1 second. But yeah, it's been some time. Hope everyone's been doing okay. I've been gone for what it feels like to be about 2 months. Didn't think I'd be gone that long, but life happened, right? And you know, I've just been trying to take care of things, my family and whatnot. Things been pretty difficult, but some time ago I was trying to just figure out how to get back here since things have kind of slowed down. And even when they slowed down, things kind of picked up in a way that I didn't expect, that I didn't enjoy. So taking a lot of uh, losses in the family, if you will. So things been kind of a little rough, but still got to keep moving, you know. Um, so I'm back, and I'm working on this last chapter of this book. Not last chapter, right? But the last chapter that's going to be in the book. There's a lot of things kind of up in the air right now, so I'll try to just I'm trying not to ramble too much and just give you guys decent information. So what I'll say is, when it comes to the uploads for the Divinity on the free websites like Webtoon and Tapas, I haven't gotten back to those yet because this is just me coming back and I just haven't done much of anything else other than draw again and practice and get back to the pages a little bit. But I haven't gotten far. I'm only about on page 3 here, maybe. So there's that. But basically I'm gonna get back to that. I want to try and get back to it this week. Um right now I'm thinking Saturdays is fine. Usually I would like to stream 2 days a week, but we'll see how I feel when Tuesday rolls around. But gonna try and update things on Webtoon and Tapas for everyone to enjoy, and I need to also update things on Patreon as well. Sorry to all my patrons who I haven't been able to update, but I'm going to try and just update a lot of things. I've done some figure drawing, and I'm actually about to do a little bit of those with you guys here. I try to do some gestures and whatnot till I like warm up and everything. Then I'm gonna try and get to these pages. Um, but yeah, as far as the free stuff, that's how that's going. Sorry for anyone who's been waiting around for any updates and whatnot. I just haven't been doing well. Um, what else? Um, I would eventually like to get to the point where I'm doing commissions and whatnot this year again. Haven't gotten to think about much of that stuff, but we'll get back to it. You know, we'll get back to all the things we plan to do this year, and the main goal is usually, you know, to try and hit 10 chapters in a year. And I kind of fell off a bit. I did finish a chapter, which I started last year. I would kind of try to count that, just saying, because a lot of work wasn't done and completed. But I finished that previous chapter, and um, started working on this one recently. This chapter is only gonna be about 13 pages or so, maybe 15. I might slot more pages in there. But either way, it's not like a really long chapter. It's a relatively short chapter. Um, and I should be able to get that done this month. A lot more things are happening this year, so we'll see how things go. But that's still my plan. I would love to be able to get 10 chapters done a year. But the only issue was trying to figure out, or the only issue was trying to figure out, other than obviously scheduling, just how much effort you want to put on each and every image, you know. So I learned a bit. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get started and try to work on some gestures real quick. I think I have them set to like 30 seconds. It's kind of like where I try to get things to. I guess before I even do that, I'm gonna try and throw some lines down and see how they look. Also, if you guys um, see anything up with the stream that's off, please tell me. If you guys don't hear me that well, um, go ahead and tell me in the comment section so I can try to fix the audio and whatnot. Oh yeah, you will notice. Obviously, I gotta stop saying that word. Honestly, like nothing's actually obvious. But you guys notice I've chosen to do the stream a bit earlier today. Um, I just thought it'd be better. Have the sun up to have a little bit more energy. Um, to be able to draw a bit longer. So this is like a little exercise that I do ever so often. Sometimes I don't have time for it, but when I really want to warm up and make my lines better, I try to do a couple straights and a bunch of curves. And these are like controlled ones, but I try to go bigger as well. And I also try to get a little bit more intricate before I stop. So I'm gonna do a little bit of these, and then I'm gonna go off and do some gestures, and then we'll start on the pages and whatnot. Interesting. I don't know what's going on with that. It says chat is disabled on YouTube. Why? Makes me wonder, is anyone on YouTube speaking? Let me check. Of course. Yeah, see, I can't see it there. Makes me wonder why. Refresh, maybe. Says chat is disabled. So I have to figure out how to fix that again. Let me see here. Oh wait, that has a little URL there. I'll just copy that. Strange. I don't really know how to redo it, but that's fine. I'll just try to use this little pop-out feature, and that'll be fine, I guess. See how long that lasts anyway. How's it going, the Dragon Master? nice. What am I drawing? I was just doing some exercises, some line exercises or whatever. Try and get my hand ready to draw. I'm about to do some gestures real quick. Then probably just segue over to working on the comic. Do you do any art? Are you an artist as well? Drawing way too big. You draw dragons, but you don't post them? Or you draw like all types of dragons, or like I don't know, like do you only draw dragons? Like do you like come up with like a setting or a story and everything for them and stuff? I don't like this pack. Could do better. Oh, I was asking, do you make stories with the dragons you make? Or do you just enjoy drawing dragons in general? Wow, that's the first time this program has crashed on me like that. That's new. You just draw the dragons, nice. Interesting. Because I have to double click. Okay. Alright, that's better. So now I'm trying to quickly throw down some lines for gesture purposes. Shuffle isn't on. You just like drawing them because of How You Train Your Dragon? Actually, for some reason, never saw that one yet, but I always wanted to check it out. Just didn't check it out yet. But it always looked cool or interesting. That's not much of a gesture. Well, I could technically do something with it. Yeah. Do you like the trailer compared to like the one you're used to? Like, do they look like they're doing a good adaptation? Dang. This dude. I love it, and yes, I think How to Train Your Dragon is better, even though I wanted and How to Train You before. Oh, nice. Hmm, makes you wonder. See, if the fan base wants a 4 and they're giving you a live action, I mean, they might give you a 4, but they also might just double down on the live action. Because, you know, live actions be making money a certain way. Well, everything does, but nowadays it's about, or Disney seems to be about making live action adaptations instead of redoing, you know, things that already worked in animation. Which is kind of sad in a way. But I guess it makes the idea more fresh and interesting instead of having to come up with a completely new one. Okay. Fun pose, I guess. His arms are weird. Speaking of Disney, have you watched Lilo and Stitch? They're getting a live action as well. Yeah, I've seen Lilo and Stitch. Not too interested in the live action. A lot of the times with the live actions when they have like a little creature or something. I don't know. I don't usually like what they do when they try to make a CGI version of that. So yeah, I don't know. But from what I saw, I think I saw a trailer. I'm not sure. I think I saw a Lilo and Stitch trailer, but I don't think I liked it very much. What kind of dragon should I draw? Um, hmm. The one that gets you inspired to draw more dragons. I don't know. I don't know. Ah, missed out on it. I was getting somewhere. I was making my lines too long. What type of pose is that? Okay. Oh, it wasn't that bad. Almost done with this run. I guess so. I just wonder sometimes, like, why not just come up with something new? But then again, they're a company, and it's safer to just do something you already know could possibly succeed. And I get my answer very quickly. I feel like I'm not getting the shape of that hand right. Oh, nice, no problem. Done with these warm ups now for the most part. I can kind of get to these pages. So, disregard this color joint. I was talking to a friend of mine, and they were talking to me about how they enjoyed drawing in Clip Studio over certain other applications. And I was like, word? Like, we're talking a bit, and I was like, I don't really paint much in this program, but I do enjoy painting in it. And I don't know, our conversation just was going. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna try throwing down something real quick and had a little fun painting or whatever. But this is page one over here. I just drew it on my comic book file because that's where I was at the time. But here's page one. I put a certain level of effort into making sure things work properly. I'm excited a bit because I finally started to do the process I've kind of always wanted to try, and that is, well, usually what I do is have a plot, and I figure out where the story is going to go from that plot, and everything else is kind of spontaneous. Excuse me. But basically this time what I wanted to do was have the plot, come up with the actual dialogue, and put the dialogue down on the page, essentially really early in the process. How early? A little after the thumbnails. So I did the thumbnail, or early storyboards, if you will, for the whole chapter, and then I blow those up to the page size, and then I confirm if I still like the layouts of where I'm going with the story, and the imagery I want to use to demonstrate that part of the story, if I'm still okay with the layouts I've made. And if I am, I go ahead and I come up with the dialogue based off of the plot and the personalities of the characters and everything else. And I've typed it up and I've put it on word bubbles as well, which I usually don't do. Word bubbles and all the text is usually the last thing that I add to my pages. And unfortunately, it takes me the longest amount of time because sometimes I'll be in the zone coming up with ideas of what they're going to say. And as I'm drawing, I'll forget to write any of it down, sadly. And then I'll try to have to relive the whole moment as in, I'm the character and I'm in this moment. And what do I say again here? What did this character say again? And it becomes like weird because, there's all these ideas of what you could say, but it wasn't what you came up with in that moment that made it feel great as you were drawing it. So now I have the dialogue on the page, and now I can also draw an image that also contextually matches the energy of what is being said at the same time. So that's what I always want to try and do. It'll make the imagery stronger. It'll make the storytelling better. It'll keep the person reading the story in the story. And that's really important. So, it's page one. Um, it's got just enough information in it for me as far as the line work goes. Of course, I can add things or edit things later, but this is a good starting point for me. And I have basically everything where I need it to be. And page two. Oh, this is page two over here. Page two is coming along. Trying to have this balancing act of being like, uh, here's what needs to be here, and also don't overdo it. So it's a balancing act because you got to have enough line work and enough information visually for it to be like enough, but you also don't need to put more things than what's necessary in most shots. So it's kind of like figuring out exactly what's necessary and which shots you're going to give extra amount of life or time to help depict that scene properly to the person reading it. But yeah, I'm still working this one through. This is the one I'm gonna be working on right now. Because based off of my previous layout, I was like, oh, that looks fun. And then I was like, wait a minute, this pose doesn't link up the way I need it to. So, in the initial pose here, my mind is like, okay, this person is obviously dodging something. But it's like, okay, does that pose read well as a dodge? And if it's kind of like, kinda, and it's like, okay, well, what part is reading well as a dodge and which part isn't? And also, how do I adjust it to make it look like it works without changing too much? Because the less you got to change, less effort you got to put in. And it's not like we already didn't put in the effort. Just trying to make it easier. So I tried to make them kind of move forward, kind of curl a little bit, bend a little bit forward. But in the other pose, it looks like they're going backwards. Actually, that's exactly what that pose should be. Now that I think about it. Might have to go. My mom says she's going shopping. She wants me to go. No problem. Understandable. See you later if you come back. And thanks for stopping by. Okay. So, this pose is like this. Okay, so I'm thinking it's like a run a little bit where have this going on. And we're gonna have the leg going up. She's running, but also she's dodging. So this should be like behind her a little bit. And she should. This is me trying to act it out a little bit. Now she just looks a little evil here. can go with that a little bit. Kind of wanted there to be a little bit of a surprise, actually. Hmm. She looks a little like extra worried. I don't know if I want that. So that's better. Um, Still not completely sold on the pose, but it is better. So I'm gonna come forward a little bit more. Cool. Okay. So Getting somewhere. I don't like this pose much anymore. I think, well, it's not the pose completely. It's a lot of things. It's the proportions along with the pose. But I'm just gonna draw along it. I'm gonna just draw on top of it a bit. Something about just changing the legs there just made it so much funner. So I can actually. I've seen a decent. Well, I've seen some martial arts films, and they have a certain way they move. and he is doing a specific type of martial art. So, um, yeah, it looks fun. Looks like the movement isn't. I mean, the previous one was fine. It looks very video gamey, but this one feels very Chinese martial art movie esque, not video game. All right, so these last two poses are, guess, more of my team focus. Um, he should be doing a kick on one hand, and on the other one, I want that kick to be like a. Excuse me, I was yawning. I want it to be kind of like a vertical going kick here. It's gonna force you to go to the next page. I did do a bunch of sketches on like my layout, well, or planning of all my comic pages and stuff. So I guess I could kind of look through that real quick. I have to turn off all this stuff. So many little poses. It's always funny seeing how many poses go into this stuff and then like how much actually gets through, because at the end of the day you have to essentially, it's a story that has a fight scene, not a fight scene that has a story, at least right now. So I'm like, okay, well, how do I get this to work? And a bunch of drawings for him and her actually, but not all of it's gonna make it. Could be for a later date though. I guess the annoying thing is like I didn't get enough kick moves, I guess, that I wanted. I like kicks a lot. And from what I was looking at, for reference material. Couldn't find enough kicks, so it was a bit sad. So all I got is this for the most part for kicks anyway. See if I can just copy and paste it and see if it actually works. I have an idea. I'm trying to make a sequence. Well, obviously all of this is a sequence, but you know, kind of have an idea a bit about where I could kind of build this into. So he did that, and then he missed. I can go with something like that. It's kind of straightforward. Or I could have even more fun where she dodges him and runs back around. So if that's the case, he should be facing, I guess, still to the left hand side, which means he should be looking that way, and maybe his arm is a little extended. Oh, that's cool. You know what? Yeah, I could do that. Yeah, that could be fun. And then you go into the kick. Like I could make that leg a little bit better that he has going on. Let's see. that could be fun. Let's see here. Got these lines going this way. And maybe I move it over just a bit more. Fine. And we got, kind of squeeze the bottom here a little bit. Kind of push this angle a bit. Cool. And I would just would it be better if I just did this type of thing? Probably not. Probably just need to highlight the kick. That's about it. Cool. That sucks. Okay, well. Alright, time to get some water. Yeah, I like this sequence. Alright, I'm gonna try and play a little bit of music, for me anyway, or at least a video or something to listen to. That way I'm not just completely in silence here. I have been the whole time. But yeah. And that's the thing, I never usually know what the heck to listen to, so just put on anything. A lot of the times I just put on well, recently I've been trying to listen to like some Sakuga video music. There's this YouTuber called Hob Sakuga. They have like, in my opinion, some of the best music, and I don't know, it really just fits the tone of what they're showing properly. It's really good. Okay, so it seems like I want to block here. Before I completely just make a blocking pose, I'm noticing how useful doing these pre-sketches or whatever are on these thumbnail drawings. So I'm like, wait a minute, like, I mean, I usually just do the thumbnails, but this time I actually have drawings that coincide with what I want to be there on the actual sheet, which is fantastic. So I'm like, wait a minute, let me check that out real quick again. I might have something that I can use. I need to put all these in some sort of folder. That's annoying. There we go. Seems I don't have enough poses for her fighting style here. But I know it does have some decent blocks or whatever. I'm just gonna use some of these poses a little bit. It's like I know exactly which one it is properly though from the poses. But I didn't draw down any blocks. I should have. That would have been fun to see. Alright, liking that panel 1 on this page. Trying my best to, once I come up with like, there's a lot I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about the characters' personality, how they're feeling in the moment, their placement in this place to some degree, um, how intense their movements are, and what part of the movement we're seeing. And other things like things I can do to push the designs, to push the feeling or the moment or the staging or whatever, to kind of make sure that it's very felt, that it's very clear. Sorry, everyone. That was that was my mom, my mother and so here I want the sleeve to kind of go a little. Well, it's not a sleeve, but I want the fabric to go a little bit forward here. So I'm gonna try and push it over here. It's definitely one of my favorite panels so far. Happy about that. Alright, that's better. struggling to figure out where I want to go on this actually. So what I'm thinking about right now is like so I'm trying to fill out what the motion should be for the cloak that they have on. So I'm like, okay, well, at first, all right, so they stop moving from they kind of slide a little bit, and they stop moving from the initial attack that they do. Right, they missed, but here they stop. Now think about, okay, when you stop, okay, there could be a little dust being brought up from when they stopped right there. I'm thinking about how the cloth uh, is like trying to stop moving. So the sleeve right here is kind of going upwards like that, but then when they stop moving, it kind of shoots forward a little bit. Um, and also the part that's further behind is still in a motion similar to, or still in the direction that it was coming from. So it still hasn't caught up yet completely. Since this is the furthest thing back, it's still gonna kind of be there, but then the front part of it is kind of trying to stop moving, right? The further to the left things are, how you say, they're not pushed to the right side. They're more so pushed to the left. Since he was going from the right to the left, the things that are already the furthest back, um, right now anyway, they kind of are trying to catch up to the other side, whereas other things that are already on the other side are kind of already settling to some degree. Some of those things, I'm still trying to figure it out myself. It's like learning inertia, um, one of the laws of physics. I'm trying to include that. I've been studying a bit of animation recently. And when he jumps, I'm like, okay, well, when he jumps, that motion, I'm thinking of it two ways, right? I want to lead your eye one direction. I want to lead your eye a certain way. And I also want the cloth and the hair to move accordingly, right? That's another thing I didn't talk about in the previous pose. The hair is kind of moving back. Then when he stopped and slowing down, it kind of goes down again. Actually, didn't add in this like bang here. Which is, settling. Then he jumps. He jumps, and I'm thinking, since he's jumping and he hasn't fallen yet, when he first goes up, the force of that is still pushing his head or pushing the hair, and it's going one direction. Still, and I'm also going, okay, well, how can I use that? I can use that to like aim towards where he's jumping from, since that is where he jumps from. Um, so since he jumps from here, should be like, things should, I don't know, some type of force pushing things like that. And then obviously when he, see, I gotta stop using that. And then when he's coming down a little bit, it's gonna flatten out a little bit, so there's less force there. So it'll be able to kind of, like, it's still going that direction, but it'll flare out a little bit, like, until it settles. Anyway, I'm trying to think about these things more often. Um, so we got that pose going on, and this is kind of like a leading line back here. All this stuff kind of hopefully leads back here. And it's a little bigger as well to show that it's closer. There's even a little bit of overlap. Just a little bit of overlap so that we know which thing comes next. One, a two. I'm thinking I might put some dialogue here. I feel like it works being there. And this obviously three. So we got like this arc going on. Again, been studying animation and comics at the same time. And I don't know, I like to teach. So we got these arcs. What are these things? What thing can we group together here? I would say the heads. So do something like that. And even objects to some degree. Most like objects or around the same area. Use a bigger thing. Goes into the kick, hopefully. Trying to make something. Anyway. Now I'm trying to figure out this one because I assume I'm thinking he's falling a little bit at this point. So if he's falling a little bit, then that pull from the cloth of his cloak should lessen up a little bit. So now it should be catching up to him instead of stretching out. Which means it should like bunch a little bit. I don't like that. Alright, yeah. I like the sequence. So let me go ahead and tidy up on this hand because I know it's too close. Now I have to go through and add a little bit more here and there when it comes to this little lady's outfit. She's leaning back one side, so that means should kind of peek out a little bit like that. Dang, the way the shadow looks kind of like a deltoid a little bit, but like a shadow on it. Too bad my outfit covers that, huh? Oh well. Cool. Um, I was just trying to really figure out if it works the way I think it works. And sometimes that requires just looking at it from a distance and just really thinking about it. But yeah, let's talk a little bit more. So I'm gonna be doing this with you guys whenever I get a chance to. But this is gonna go quickly because I don't know, I'm a little bit more thoughtful and a little bit more intentional, a little bit more meticulous with this stuff now. This stuff with drawing comics. I figured out kind of like my favorite stuff to draw in a comic and combine that with what the story needs, essentially. This is stuff I've always been working towards in my mind. And, like, I feel like once you get to that point, you kind of go, okay, like, I could do everything, but it's not worthwhile doing everything. And I mean that technique wise, you know. So what, you can stipple or ink really well or cross hatch, you know, do all these different techniques. I have decent line work. I know all these different things about where I am and stuff, but it's like, is it necessary for the story? So I'm always thinking like that now, and I'm also going, how much time am I giving everything? Uh, I have my little techniques now to try and mitigate how much effort I'm putting in, where I put it in, what I'm focusing on each panel, which panels are the star of this page type deal, and the other ones that are not, they still have a focus, but it won't be on the same level as the stars of that page. So I have an understanding of kind of like what I want to do with that. So these pages are gonna go quickly. What is this? Page 2 and 3. Page 2 and 3 here. Again, all the dialogue is already kind of down. I may add some here or there to add a different flow or feel to how things go on the page, but for the most part, things are where I need them to be already. And that makes me really happy, because that means that the last text things that I'll really care about is going to be sound effects. And sound effects for me are very fun. It's just that you always have to make sure you have space for it, and you can't get in front of the text on the dialogue and stuff. So again, as long as I plan for most of it or I leave space for it, I'll be fine. And that makes me really happy. So what else can I say? Kind of talked about it earlier. But yeah, for those who don't know, this is a manga called The Divinity that I'm working on. It reads from right to left. I've been working on it for some time now. There is a bunch of free chapters up online on Webtoon and Tapas for you guys to check out. I'll probably be posting other places as well, but depending on the traction of those places, I may not say where they are, but it's online. But for the most part, I am posting to Webtoon and Tapas for now. I would love to get a website, but I would have to commission someone for that, and I would have to have some money saved up for that to get it the way I want. Though I personally don't think I want much. It could be different from the person who actually understands making a website. So, you know, I'm not even gonna assume that what I want isn't a lot. But them tariffs though, right? Everything's going up in price. So just because they can, everything's gonna go up. So I don't know how much anything's gonna cost, and since I haven't bought anything just yet, I I don't know. Things are gonna change, but would love to have a functioning website. I still don't like the previous website experiences that I've been having, and it's not anyone's fault. It's just things take up space or cost money, right? So you want a website that has a bunch of images on it, but those images contain a lot of high quality on them, which means they're heavy, if you will. They cost a lot of space on the website to host it quickly. Then that means you're gonna have to pay for that, or sacrifice the quality of your pictures. But yeah, I would love to have a storefront and a gallery, and a place where you can read my comic all on the same site and look nice. And, I think that would be great. You go there and you can read the latest chapter or latest updates. And maybe I have a little blog or a newsletter there. You can go over there and go see what's going on, what I'm talking about, anything like that. And then you can scroll over to see, oh snap, I have new prints available or something. And, I don't know. But that's what I want. I want a space like that for my comic and for my artwork. I'll get there eventually. Just not right now. What else do I want to say? I appreciate everyone going out to check out my comic, The Divinity. Appreciate it. Been working on it for a very long time. I still love it. Still put time and effort into it. I hope that my streams are evident of that. When you guys click through, check out older ones or the latest ones. I hope you guys can see. Hope you guys can notice how much work I'm trying to put in there and the things I'm focusing on. I'm not perfect, but I definitely am passionate about trying to make the best, comic that I'm trying to make, and it's been a journey. And I hope I inspire people who may not be where I am exactly and are trying to do what I'm trying to do. Maybe they're just trying to make comics, comic strips, comic books, manga style comics, artwork itself. I hope that what I'm doing can inspire other people. If you guys ever have any questions about the comic, where you guys can read it, or the art while I'm making, you need any tips or advice, I got you. Not shy about giving out information. If I have it, you guys can have it. If it's something I'm iffy on and I don't know enough about, I probably won't speak on it too much, but I'll still try to put out some good information. I appreciate everybody coming through, checking out the stream, even if you were just lurking, and also the people who were talking. If you guys would like to support, check out my Patreon. Though I haven't updated too much this year, I will be uploading more. So, yeah. Next time I talk about it, I'll probably have something up, honestly. I'll have some more stuff up. And it seems like scheduling things to go up may not be the wave. So what I'm going to start doing is just grabbing a crap ton of content that I've already made, like gesture drawing, figure drawing. Those are the things I do like all the time. I don't usually sit around drawing characters of other people's stuff, I think that's cool too, but I mainly draw my characters in my comic or figure drawing. I like to do those things a lot. So that's what I have a lot of. So yeah, appreciate everyone for all the support. Please be sure to like the video, share it if you really enjoy it, and definitely read my comic. Very much appreciate you guys and the support you guys give me. See you guys in the next one, which probably will be another Saturday. But if not, if I'm feeling amazing, I'll try to stream again on Tuesday, right? But it'll definitely be on Saturday. Thanks so much. Appreciate it. Peace.